Watford vs Liverpool Live, latest Premier League updates. The Vicarage Road pitch ahead of Watford vs Liverpool. Liverpool travel to Watford to open this weekend's round of Premier League fixtures. The Reds can move to the top of the table with a win, having entered the international break off the back of a thrilling 2-2 draw with champions Man City. But Jurgen Klopp's side will meet the Hornets eager to impress their new manager, Claudio Ranieri, who replaced Xisco Munoz last week. A win for the hosts will take them 7 points clear of the relegation zone, while they will also hope to take confidence from the last time they hosted the Merseysiders in the league, which ended a 44-game unbeaten run thanks to a double from Ismaila Sarr and one from Troy Deeney. Klopp has been discussing the Saudi Arabia-backed takeover of Newcastle and how it will impact the Reds and the rest of the league, stating the Magpies could emerge as a superpower. I actually was waiting for some official statements about it. Like from Richard Masters or somebody else. We all know there are obviously some concerns over human rights issues. That's clear. We all think the same there. Newcastle fans will love it, but for the rest of us, it just means there is a new superpower in Newcastle. We cannot avoid that. Money cannot buy everything, but over time they will have enough money to make a few wrong decisions, then make the right decisions, and then they will be where they want to be in the long term. In 5, 6, 7 years' time, if the owners are patient enough, Newcastle is a new superpower, and they will have enough money to buy the whole league. Follow live updates from Vicarage Road, including team news, build-up, goal and score updates and post-game analysis. Claudio Ranieri pulled off one of the great feats of the past 20 years when he led Leicester City to the Premier League title. 5 clubs in half a decade on, he begins a new phase in his career when Watford face Liverpool at Vicarage Road on Saturday. This seems an odd marriage. Ranieri turns 70 next week and has a peripatetic history. This is his 22nd job in management. Watford have parted company with 8 managers since Leicester sealed their Premier League win. It is not hard to conceive that the Italian will no longer be in control in Hertfordshire in May. At Watford, the beginning of the end starts right at the beginning. Aside from Pep Guardiola, Ranieri and Jurgen Klopp are the only 2 managers in the top flight who can boast about winning the league in England. Ranieri was sacked by Leicester 9 months after the club's greatest success. One day they will build a statue at Anfield to Klopp. The German's legacy is secure. Ranieri's is forever fated to be seen as avuncular but slightly lightweight, an image likely to be endorsed by this spell at Watford. The Italian manager will have to be at his sharpest to survive for long at Watford, but he is much tougher than he looks and will present an immediate test for Jurgen Klopp's high-flying Liverpool this weekend. Claudio Ranieri admits he has evolved as a manager as he prepares to take charge of Watford for the first time. The Italian, who turns 70 next week, is back in the Premier League 21 years after he first arrived as Chelsea manager, and he has had 12 jobs since then. 2 of those have been in England, famously guiding Leicester to the title in 2016 and then a short stay at Fulham in 2019. The Italian is preparing for his 4th spell in the Premier League after taking charge at Vicarage Road. Watford come into this game 15th in the Premier League table with just 1 win in their last 6 league matches. Last time out they were outplayed by Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds United, and an 18th-minute goal from Diego Llorente was enough to see the Whites to victory. Liverpool meanwhile were twice pegged back by Manchester City as their last match before the international break ended 2-2 at Anfield. 4 second-half goals saw Sadio Mane put the Reds in front before Phil Foden capped off a very good individual performance with an equaliser. Mo Salah sent Liverpool back in front with 15 minutes to play, but Kevin De Bruyne rescued a point for City 5 minutes later. That draw leaves Liverpool in second place, 1 point behind Chelsea, but they can regain top spot with a win over Watford today. At least for a few hours until Chelsea take on Brentford at 5:30 p.m. New Watford manager Claudio Ranieri was given a boost as forward Joshua King has recovered from a minor knee ligament injury, but this game against Liverpool may come too soon for his return. Definitely missing are Francisco Sierralta and Christian Cabasel, who both picked up hamstring injuries in the defeat to Leeds. Jurgen Klopp will have to do without Brazilian pair Alisson and Fabinho as they will be flying straight from international duty to Madrid for the Reds' Champions League match against Atletico Madrid on Tuesday. Curtis Jones and Thiago Alcantara are out, but Diogo Jota and Trent Alexander-Arnold are fit to return. Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah insists winning is what keeps him happy. Over the last month there has been a lot of debate about Salah's contract situation, as he has yet to follow the example of a number of senior players this year and sign an extension to a deal which expires in the summer of 2023. Reports suggest the stumbling block is the Egypt international's wages, with claims that Salah looking for £300,000 a week plus so he can have parity with some of the Premier League's top earners. The forward's current deal will run out in the summer of 2023. Jurgen Klopp has hit out at the FA for their lack of communication after Curtis Jones picked up an injury on international duty with England under-21s. The 20-year-old was absent from the 2-2 draw against Slovenia due to a groin problem. Ahead of the under-21s match against Andorra 4 days later, manager Lee Carsley insisted England definitely won't be taking any risks. The German is upset at the lack of communication between club and country during the international break. Jurgen Klopp claims that Newcastle United's takeover will lead to a new superpower in European football. The Saudi Arabia-backed takeover has given the Magpies an enormous financial boost, with Mike Ashley selling the club for £305 million. The takeover has attracted widespread condemnation surrounding the country's human rights record. The German manager insists the Magpies' possibilities that open up are of course immense. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp wants more direct communication with football's decision-makers as he does not believe the current situation is benefiting the game. The German said he had spoken to Premier League chief executive Richard Masters only once or twice during his 6 years in England and did not think the league's 14-vote threshold required to effect changes had produced much good for football in general. Klopp, who has been outspoken on a number of issues he feels are detrimental to the game, also felt any discussions he has had with FIFA and UEFA have also fallen on deaf ears. The German manager wants more direct communication with football's decision-makers: Watford, Foster, Femenia, Cathcart, Troost-Ekong, Rose, Sissoko, Kaka, Pedro, Tufan, Bonaventure, Sarr. Liverpool, Adrian, Milner, Van Dijk, Matip, Robertson, Keita, Henderson, Jones, Salah, Firmino. Main. Watford 8-1 draw 9/2 Liverpool 3/10.